9/11. 9/11 is no longer a good comparison for this channel and the Pigcast. Neither is the events of Hiroshima, or even I dare say something like Pearl Harbor is no longer a good comparison. I think we're now the submarine incident of 2023. That's what I feel like this channel is compared to, especially with the nosedive that this channel has taken, although it's always been at a steady nosedive. That's the only thing that's made me feel at least somewhat good about producing content for this godforsaken fucking channel, is that it's always been in a steady decline. It's never been ground zero necessarily, but it's always been in a slow yet steady place in decline. And that kind of keeps me alive. It keeps me rushed. Now, not to say that I'm going to spend $250,000 in order to subject myself to other people's farts in my last waking hours alive, but we're here. We're queer, and we're doing the Pigcast. If you're not familiar with what the Pigcast is, it's just a podcast. It's a show. I do it every once in a while. As a matter of fact, this week, I've done it 4 days in a row. Now, the information presented in this particular podcast, is it relevant? Is it important? Is it something that's going to help you? Of course it is, which is why you're here, or you're watching this after the fact. But as you may tell by the nature of the channel, it's of course a channel dedicated to magic tricks and sadness and loneliness and isolation and virginity and no self-respect and no women and no going outside and card tricks. However, this podcast, we're not necessarily going to talk about any of that. We're going to talk about things that are happening outside of those things. Maybe one thing here or there, like my playing cards on Kickstarter that finally launched. I'll be shilling that quite a bit on this podcast and any way that I can for the next 30 days, if you could imagine. However, today we're going to talk about some other things. I have a bunch of topics here. DJ Khaled, we're going to talk about fake influencers, Spirit Airlines. If you're not familiar with Spirit Airlines because you're from some country that doesn't matter, it's like your Ryanair, essentially, is what Spirit Airlines is. Summer school, money. Why did I put money? Which one of these is related to money? Oh, of course, we're going to talk about one of these popular videos that comes up every once in a while where they get a bunch of people. Usually, it's like a bunch of diverse cast of characters, and then they ask them characters and they ask them questions. Oh, we're already starting off strong. That was 2. I deserve 2. And they ask them questions in regards to things like diversity and money, and we're going to cover one of those. And also the state of journalism in 2023 in regards to an article about seltzer water and how it hurt this poor, dainty reporter. And he goes in length talking about how seltzer water hurts him. Seltzer water. Come on, be better. Listen to Michelle Obama.
Be better. Be better. Be better. Be better.
Listen to Oprah on Father's Day talk about how men should be better on Father's Day. But of course, as usual, let me look at the comments here because then people think, oh, Pigcake, the fame has gotten to your head. All this fame and fortune that you've amassed from doing a Kickstarter campaign, as well as having several dozens of followers on YouTube, has gone to your head. So you don't care about the community anymore. But let me read the comments that I've missed. Ben Shapiro says, change up. Inside joke besides mentioning a sister that I don't have. I don't know what you mean by change up. Is that a pitch? Is that a joke that maybe I should know? If you're referencing something I've mentioned in a video, I probably forgot. As a matter of fact, I treat it like M. Bison in Street Fighter. For you, it might have been the funniest joke you've ever heard. For me, it was Tuesday. We also have Jason Heist. Thank you for posting on the Magic Cafe in regards to my cards. You said the Kickstarter is now at $5,300 and $5,322. So $5,322, which is hot. That's about almost 50% in, I would say, less than 48 hours. I'm going to keep adding the hours as the days go by, and hopefully we could reach the actual goal as well as subsequent stretch goals, which I seem to have been fairly generous on, but we'll see as they come. Of course, I'm infinitely generous to anybody that's decided to potentially pick up a deck of missing piece playing cards. If you haven't seen any form of advertisement for the deck, hey, are you a magician?
What magician?
Are you do you do magic tricks?
Magic tricks?
Stop what you're doing. Stop what you're doing. Missing piece deck of playing cards is out on Kickstarter. Get yourself a missing piece deck of playing cards on Kickstarter. The what? The what? The what? Missing piece deck is out on Kickstarter. Slow down.
Slow down. Slow down.
Missing piece deck of playing cards. Missing piece deck of playing cards. The missing piece deck on Kickstarter. Missing piece deck of playing cards. That's fucking just the worst, isn't it? I made a couple real ones, I guess, that are non-intrusive or non-molestation-ist, I guess, that I put on Instagram today and also YouTube. I'm going to be posting a lot about that deck. If you haven't noticed by now, I'm going to be very annoying about the deck. As a matter of fact, I'm going to try to reach out to as many people as I possibly can to be on their shows, on their podcasts, on their YouTube channel to promote the deck as much as possible. So if you know anybody, let them know that PigCake's looking. So send them little messages, send them DMs, be like, hey, yo, PigCake is trying to scour the internet for magic/card related channels that want to host me for an interview so that I could pitch my cards and maybe pitch my channel. What else here? Backed the Kickstarter, says Stu Batman. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Again, I hope that you're going to have your hands on the deck sometime in the fall season. Alk says, gosh, PigCake, are you going to stream live every day during your Kickstarter campaign? I'm going to be devoted to you as much as I can. I've been in this cult so long, but you're going to kill me and my social life. I don't know. I just felt like I should do a stream again. I feel like there's an excess of topics that I wanted to go over, and I haven't covered everything. There's so much to talk about. I have a laundry list of things that every time I see, I'm like, oh, this is show-worthy material, and I feel like I haven't exhausted that list. So until I exhaust that list, I'm going to keep streaming, baby. Swine-Eyed West says, Iker, Justin, pig beer. Apart from the hairline, my goodness, I just showered. I don't know what to do with my hair, to be honest. I might just get a fade and actually get a haircut. Do maybe a little burst fade here and look like I sell tamales or carpets, whichever one you decide to ascribe me to. If you think I look Arab, right? If you think I look Cuban or some other part that speaks Spanish, I might just do that. Get a little thing, maybe get a mullet. But the hair is definitely growing out. But right now it's the awkward phase, which I hate. Thank you, Peter Turner, for ruining my life until I grow my hair out again. I really do hate that. What else here? Oh, good manners, says Alk. David Pigberfield says Iker. Let's see. Change my pitch up. Smack my bitch up, says Waja. I'm sure referencing some sort of rap song that I'm not familiar because I don't like rap. Now, that might be put in a compilation in regards to certain characters that do like rap. We'll see. Do you have prototypes left? Yeah, I have a lot of prototypes, as a matter of fact, but I don't have the latest ones, which is funny. The prototype that I had has a mistake on the nines. The nines are reversed. So the ones that actually have the most up-to-date prototypes are Magic Orthodoxy and Alex Boyer, who I sent a deck. So he's actually getting one. What else here before I get into some stuff? How do I use mentalism to get me a fat astrology girl? I think that you'd find putting on a belt to be harder than picking up an astrology girl with mentalism. You could do anything as long as you kind of gear it in the world of the esoteric. I feel like you're shilling the PigCake Magic Academy, which I'm tempted to put an ad for. I actually just shared an idea using tarot cards. It's very important if you happen to have your tarot cards with a wad of cash. If they're drunk enough, they'll think it's real. But I talked about the importance of these and how you could use these. And I imagine that if you use those to pick up some fairly rotund astrology girl, you'd probably have an easier time. You'd have an easy time. My goodness, fuck. Fuck. Every time I look at myself, Jesus Christ. I'm sorry that you have to look at this. If anyone here has a deck already, leave a review on the cafe. A review will get much more views than my shilling of a Kickstarter. I don't know if you mean by deck. You mean if you've actually joined the Kickstarter. If you've joined a Kickstarter, I guess that would make more sense because nobody really has a deck apart from a couple people. But let's get into some hot topics here, I guess. Just to start it off, obviously the title of this particular stream or Pigcast is the DJ Khaled is the best. And I'm saying that because he's retarded. It's fun to laugh at. Now that I'm going to talk about a little bit later because it is the main beef of this particular podcast. This is something that I saw. I like to start off light. I like to start off sort of not getting into anything serious. If you've seen the last one, I talked about the submarine at great length, the submarine that's been all over the news. And I've noticed that if you've noticed the trajectory of jokes from, like, for example, 9/11, right? It took about 15 years for people to make jokes about it in mass and people to go, oh, all right, I can make jokes about 9/11 at this point. It's taken before the bodies are cold for people to start making jokes at the fact that these people have potentially had a catastrophic end to their life. Now, granted, they did put themselves in that situation. If you're not familiar with what I'm talking about, you could look at the previous Pigcast or, I don't know, get out of your rock because it's all over the news. But because they put themselves there and because they're well off. But that doesn't mean that it's still something that's it's not necessarily funny. It is humorous that they did put themselves in that situation. But I think we should wait a little bit before we actually start making jokes in mass in regards to these people. I think the main one that I saw today was one of the stepsons of the people that were in the actual submarine. I went to a Blink-182 concert and posted that it's what he would have wanted. No, I think he would have wanted to get out of the fucking submarine. Maybe. If maybe he had a lamp that he rubbed on sexually. Fuck. If he had a magic lamp that gave him a wish, I'm pretty sure he'd wish to get out of the fucking submarine. But I don't know. It might just be me getting older and not finding things like that funny as I used to. But it's kind of rude that people are making fun of this as quickly as they are, with the bodies not even being essentially dead yet. They could potentially still be alive, and people are making jokes about it. However, I think if there's one person that's going to solve that problem, it's this guy. Why don't we send this guy down there? Obviously, we haven't had any issue. We would have an issue sending even the strongest of the most robust fucking A. We would have a hard time rescuing the people in the submarine, even if we sent our best. Even if we used cutting-edge, state-of-the-art technology, we still have a hard time. Meanwhile, what I meant to say was we should send this guy to solve the problem. Fuck. Oh, your boy's really not having it today. Let me fix myself here. And let's play. Now, this says summer school, which I imagine is happening everywhere right now in the States.
It's 7 in the morning. It's 7 in the morning.
Now, let's break that down. Right, let's break that down. Now, this is obviously a classroom. I don't know if you've ever been to summer school. I've luckily been blessed with never having to teach summer school. I feel like if I had that, it wouldn't be worth the pay. I think they get a bonus when it comes to their payment, but it's not worth it because you're dealing with the worst of the worst. The people that couldn't cover school while it was going on normally. High school is not hard. High school is really not hard. Schools don't want to fail you. Here's a little secret. They don't want to fail you because it lowers their passing grade, their percentage. So they're trying their best to make sure that everybody goes to graduation, especially smaller schools. So if you want a life hack where you are a shitty student and you still want to pass, go to a smaller high school. They're going to try their best to pass you because they don't want to lower their passing rate. So you go to summer school, and this is the sort of thing you'll see. I've heard stories of people making drug exchanges, sexual stuff in the background. Now, this guy's obviously practicing his kata, I guess, publicly, wearing what looks like to be some khaki shorts. Now, I'm actually impressed. Let me turn off the volume here. I'm actually impressed by his athleticism and his ability to do it. As you could see, right, he kicks over his head. He does a nice spin kick. He's looking forward the entire time, which is very impressive, right? He's always looking at the target. That's how you could tell an amateur from someone that doesn't know. They look away from the target. Meanwhile, this guy, look, he kicks, and he's always looking in front at the target. He comes back, gets the position, and then he does this thing, right? He does another fucking spinning kick. And then this is the part that I would say makes it full retard, I guess. which is instead of doing the pose towards the target, he ends up focusing on this guy, which I would see as an act, I would see that as an act of aggression. If I had to pick a moment where I would take out my self-defense grenade in this classroom, it would be not here. I'd be very impressed, still very impressed. Over here is where I would take out my self-defense grenade to defend both me and the rest of the classroom from this obvious psychopath. Now, I don't know if this is show and tell. I don't know what this is. It's even funnier provided without context just to watch this. But this is what you have to look forward to if you're a youth and you've been sent to summer school. That's what you have to look forward to. That I've heard furries. I've heard furries is a thing as well that you come across in summer school. So get ready for that. Hopefully they're not crinklers. Look into that if you're ever bored. Furry crinklers. It's exactly what it sounds like. If you're eating, I suggest you don't look it up because it involves a copious amount of, I guess, feces, for lack of a better term. But that is a thing that people do, especially the weirdos. But that's what you have to look forward to. Also, if you're a parent and your kid goes to summer school, this is what they have to subject themselves to. So make sure that you instill on your children, on your offspring, to try their best. Make sure that they don't end up losing their summer to having to go to this fucking, essentially, prison, which is summer school. I don't know if that's a thing overseas. I know that it's a thing here in the States, and it's very common. I never went to summer school, thank God. However, we did go to, there was some summer programs that we went to that weren't necessarily fun, but alas, it's the problem in growing up here, especially when your parents think that at every opportunity you're going to end up taking your dick out with your friends. So they go, no, we're going to send you to summer school so you don't hang out with your friends and or take your dick out with each other. Let's go through the comments here as to this particular topic. How could Sven Olafsson look Arab? Again, talking to me, a reference to my name. I hate that you doxed me there and used my real name. I don't appreciate that. Fuck. How long is that bit? Am I going to use that bit till it gets old? Let's go through here as well. I meant say something different besides mentioning my sister. Well, you say my sister, and it gives me hope. Although I've seen pictures of Abigail Shapiro, Ben Shapiro, referring to you here in the comments section. I've seen pictures, and unfortunately, she's used. She has, I think, one kid already and another kid on the way. Her beauty, yes, is now maternal. However, to me, it just says that you've had a guy spaff on you at least twice. So because of that, I have to retire from my love of Abby Shapiro. Although I still have a dear affection in my heart for Jewish women. I love Jewish women. I'm saying this like a former president. They're the best. They look the best. Their noses, I don't care. Some people might find them big and misshaped. I find them delicious. I love Jewish women. I think it might be as an Arab man, it's like haram, but I would probably give up my left nut to find somebody of Jewish descent. Even Orthodox, I don't care. I'll convert. I'll read the whatever the fuck and convert and get the little thing and the curls. I'll do that. All for you, baby. So if you're a Jewish woman that happened to stumble upon this particular live stream, you could hit me up, pigcake with 2 E's at gmail.com, and we'll make it happen. And by make it happen, I mean I'm going to get you pregnant and have beautiful Arab Jewish babies. I mean that. I'm not saying that as a joke. I mean that seriously. Going through here as well. Did you see the video, DJ? Yes, I saw the video where DJ Khaled gets a Bob Marley guitar, and he plays it as if he is actually attempting to break the guitar. I might just find that one after the fact. But DJ Khaled he makes me happy. He makes me very happy every time I see that. Has anybody asked James Cameron for help? Now, here's the thing. When James Cameron went to the actual thing, they had, I believe, unmanned. I think they were unmanned. Correct me if I'm wrong. When they went to study the Titanic. And they were also being held by a, what's that thing? A wench. They were being held, the actual submarine that they used to get information about the Titanic, which sank all the way, and then tried to look at it as best they could to replicate it. It was attached. It was tethered to another boat. So if anything happened, they could just reel that motherfucker up. I don't know how that worked. I remember reading that a couple of days ago, or actually, earlier today. My goodness, sense of time is really difficult once you are a full-time YouTube magician. It's really difficult to realize what days are. But this guy just freeballed it. He just said, fuck it. Take a Logitech controller from 2005, a single button that you press, and 17 screws that go into the actual hatch to make sure that you can't get out from the outside. You're not locked in from the inside. You're locked out from the outside. So even if you made it to the surface, you'd essentially cook, I believe. I don't think there's any sort of air conditioner or any sort of anything in there other than just hopes and vibes to get you through that particular event. Fuck. Why focus on school? That dude's going to be UFC champion one day. True. We make fun of that, but then watch that be in a UFC compilation about his upbringing. Oh, we all made fun of him, and now he's UFC champion. Who's laughing now? I'm still laughing because you don't know me. Oh, crap, that Cobra Kai TV show is becoming a fucking reality. Again, very impressed by his technique, though. I got to say, usually they're subpar. If you've seen people do that in public crazily as they do, their technique is abhorrent, whereas this guy, his technique was immaculate. PigCake will end the Israeli-Palestine conflict with his love. Yes, I'll end it with my dick. I can't tell you how much I love Jewish women. I'm infatuated with one that I follow on TikTok that's an Orthodox Latina Jew, and she's going through her day, and she's wearing a wig, which I think is a way to get around the loophole where you can't show your hair as an Orthodox Jewish woman, but she's so precious. Oh my goodness. If her husband ever stutters or stumbles, you know that I'm going to wait with open arms for her to fall into my fucking warm embrace. Here's a serious question. Do you follow religion? If so, which one? Not necessarily, although I am a man of prayer. So you could take that as you would. But I don't necessarily ascribe to any sort of religion. The only thing I do take from religion is the act of prayer, which is a good thing. I think regardless of your beliefs, I think reminding yourself as to what you have and what you want, what you've given, I think is a good thing for everyone. Even if you're a militant atheist with a girlfriend that has dyed armpit hair, I think it's still a good thing to have that I guess, habit. I don't know what else here. I know I started strong with that. I guess that takes us right into this. Now, airplanes is becoming I used to think that airplanes and travel was a very it was a upper class thing. You'd go to the airport dressed up in a suit. You'd wear your best outfit to go to the airport. Now it's a fucking war zone. Whatever airport it is, whatever airplane you're getting into, it doesn't matter. It's still a battle between you and all the retardation that takes place just to be able to travel. Now, I do hold people that look like me and responsible for that, especially getting through the TSA. I understand there was some level of security back then before you reached your flight. However, now it's the worst. It's an abortion compilation. Every single time that you decide to go and travel, you have to take your shoes off. One line says, don't take your shoes off. The other line says, hey, come to this line and take out your water bottle. The other line says, no, you don't have to take your liquids out. It's contradictory. And the worst part is that you're being told this by a usually morbidly obese TSA agent. What are you going to do to stop me? That's what I have to say. What do you have to do to stop me? You're going to do nothing. I don't know how you passed any sort of physical exam. I don't even know if the TSA has a physical component, but it's minimal at best. But we also have a lot of airliners that since COVID had used their assets to take advantage of people. One is Spirit Airlines, even though Spirit is essentially a flying Greyhound bus. People try to subvert the payments for Spirit because Spirit, whereas the flight is very cheap, the additions are very expensive. So you end up paying the same thing that you would for a better plane if you just bought it outright, as opposed to being on a Spirit Airlines. I've booked a Spirit Airlines before. It went exactly as you thought it would. You go to the fucking airport. You go early. You go 2 to 3 hours early for a domestic flight. You assume that everything's going to be good, and the line goes out the door. Oh, let me print my ticket out in the kiosk. I can't because the kiosk is broken. Oh, I finally get to the front of the line. Turns out my flight is overbooked. and it's first come, first serve. First come, first serve. I booked not only a seat, I also booked the airplane itself, the airline, whatever the flight was. And then when I arrive, it's first come, first serve. That's not the way usually things work. So that's Spirit Airlines in a nutshell. There's people fighting. There's always some sort of incident. There's some aggressor, some aggression. And it's because of this. People have to do things like this. So this, I guess, this says the type of stuff you see when you fly Spirit. She thought she was going to get away. This is also the golden ratio of retardation, by the way. Let me play this.
The type of stuff you see when you fly Spirit, she thought she was going to get away.
Nobody's going to know. They're going to know.
Now, I know you've seen BBL surgeries, popular as of late, but Harry Potter and the audacity of this bitch, right? I would say Harry Potter and the audacity of this hoe with the bag thinking that, no, I'm just going to walk in. I hope you know that when you walk in there, they don't even have an overhead luggage, essentially, in Spirit Airline flights. They barely have underseat storage. So the moment that you decide to take off your shit, somebody's going to notice. They're gonna fucking charge you. That's how they make their money. They make their money through all the stuff that you have to do. If your bag is a little bit, if it weighs more than 5 pounds, you have to pay. If you have more than 2 bags, you have to pay. But she thought she was going to circumvent this by pretending to have the world's worst BBL. So I don't know what sort of subtlety she thought she had. I assume she's as subtle as a heart attack here. Let me see the comments. I hope the comments provide more for this. I don't blame her. They're charging way too much for bags. They're charging way too much for anything in Spirit Airlines. They're charging way too much for the hassle, for the life that you've lost because you subjected yourself to the stress of going to one of these budget airlines. It's not worth it. It's more expensive than just booking one ahead of time. Looks like Raven Baxter, some sort of reference. I'm not familiar. Spirit is a Waffle House of airlines. That is true. It was the confidence and acting confused for me. That's the other part too, right? That whenever people tend to get caught in a lie or tend to get caught stealing or something, they, oh, me? Oh, what, you think that I'm doing something wrong? I'm doing something bad? And then they end up playing dumb, which never works. You just end up looking more retarded. So in this case, let's see. It's this, I believe here, where they say, hey, ma'am, there's no way. There's no way that that's your body. And I think here, let's see. She starts playing dumb. I know that they just showed it here. Fuck. Come on.
How would they know?
Yeah, right here. She's like, oh, wait, here's my thing. I'm just boarding in with a small little bag. Don't worry.
How would they know?
Don't worry about me with my oversized Home Alone coat. Yeah, and then, of course, she's going to have to pay an absurd amount of money just to have that bag. Isn't it great? Did I not transition? Excuse me? Excuse me? Am I stuck here? Okay, thank God. I thought I was stuck permanently in that particular mode. Daniel says, hey, Piggy, are you showing cards? Yeah, I've shilled my deck, Daniel. I've shilled my deck. Just because you've come here now doesn't mean that I haven't done my due diligence when it comes to my playing cards. The missing piece deck of cards, of course. The Hey, are you a magician?
You a magician?
Do you do magic tricks?
Magic tricks?
Stop what you're doing. Stop what you're doing. Missing piece deck of playing cards is out on Kickstarter. Get yourself a missing piece deck of playing cards on Kickstarter. The what? Missing piece deck is out on Kickstarter. Slow down.
Missing
piece deck of playing cards. The missing piece deck of playing cards. The missing piece deck on Kickstarter. Missing piece deck of playing cards. How's that for a commercial though? Right? That's a good one, I guess. You see the cards, you see the features. Do I show both decks? I don't think I show both decks in that one. The missing piece, Submarine Edition. KLM/Air France got me passing the detector half. Bottom naked because of the 2 screws I have in my left knee. After I told them several times about it, I guess my face ain't their type. Judging by the thumbnail that I see there, where it looks like you have a big beard. Yeah, I imagine. But there's no nuance. There's always an annoyance. There's always some sort of problem. There's never a seamless thing where even if you do everything, even if you go in there and make sure that, oh, I have the boarding pass, I've pre-checked everything, there's always something. There's always something. And I blame the fucking TSA that we give too much money to. We give too much money to the IRS and the TSA. Or they get too much money. I'll be going on my first holiday abroad. May, first time I've been on a plane. I'm 42, says Stu Batman. It's a definite experience, first time on a plane. But you get over it once you realize that they don't crash. And if they crash, they end up on Netflix. And you haven't seen a lot of those. It's been like 8 in the past, like 10 years. So you're good. I had to go through 3 times just because I had a water bottle and wanted to keep the bottle itself. Yeah, they're assholes about everything and anything. And I've gone on planes with razors. I've gone on planes with other things that they should have detected, but they didn't. So what's the security there? If I've gone on planes with lighters on my carry-on, I had lighters, I had a knife, I had a lot of things, and yet nothing. But water, no, you can't have water. You can't have fucking, God forbid, you have a bottle of water. You have to pay $4 for a bottle of water once you pass the gate. Harold and Kumar, Guantanamo Bay had the funniest TSA interaction. Highly recommend. I think I'm boycotting Harold and Kumar. I'm not going to say for what reasons, but you could imagine based on my based on my follows, based on who I'm following on Twitter, Instagram. DJ Khaled released an unreleased shoes as a gift from a man and then asked for the man's Rolex watch. Well, DJ Khaled didn't know whether to say unreleased, unsealed. That video is should be in the Smithsonian Museum. You were in a plane with weapons. I went on a plane, several times with sharp knives and things like that. And I wasn't stopped. They didn't stop me. I had blades from shaving. The ones that I believe 9/11 was done with a box cutter. I think that was the bit from 9/11 that they took over, saying they had a bomb and they used the box cutters, which is the blade is about this big, and that's how they ended up stealing those planes. So I had way more than that, and they still let me. Which, oh, do you blame me? No, I blame you, TSA, for not picking up on those things. I didn't do it on purpose. I just forgot that I had those things on me. But of course, they're essentially security theater. Speaking of airborne, this is what happens. This is what I thought I would get. Actually, what I still think that I'm going to get, selling playing cards online. I'm going to be able to have the life of luxury here, including an individual who is traveling via private helicopter. So this is where I want to be in life. I hate that you have all these captions, which kind of spoil it. But here's how the video starts.
I've been traveling a lot lately, man. You gonna be the baggage or be the luggage?
Now, I don't know about you. I think from what I've looked up, this isn't parody. I don't think this is a parody video. I think this is a guy trying to flex legitimately. And keep in mind, this is when you're scrolling. You're scrolling through. It's not from a static position where you could see that the door of the helicopter is closed. You could see that his luggage is already outside. That they've added a helicopter noise post. Sounds like a helicopter, but there's nothing's moving. And I believe his inspirational quote is,
I've been traveling a lot lately, man. You gonna be the baggage or be the luggage?
you could either be the baggage or be the luggage. Am I, now let's see the comments here. Of course, the comments also usually are pretty tremendous. I want to support while something small, maybe you could use it for a bundle. I don't know what this is. Some fucking dumb comment. Bro, the pilot already gone before he came down. How did his bags and the pilot get off before him? So he spawned out the door without opening it. Now, what I love is I want to believe that this is real. That this is a guy that's like, oh, I'm going to flex on my, looks like TikTok. No, this is Snapchat, I think. Might be Snapchat. And he says, oh, I'm just going to, let me just pretend like I jumped out. Pull up my pants. The state of people. So this is the alternative. The alternative is to be rich. If you want to avoid Spirit Airlines and all these other things, just be rich, man. Just make a lot of money And you can have private helicopters like this guy. Chopper fan went to a halt just after landing. I don't get the door not open. Yeah, these are, they're not that good. I thought they were going to be pretty tremendous. I did like Spawn, the one that mentioned that he spawned outside the door. That's quite humorous. So you got some options. If you don't want to travel on Spirit Airlines and you want to be able to travel comfortably, just make a lot of money and be like this guy. I don't think they talk about his name or they show his name in that. Any relations with any international group, says Hane. I guess you're referring to ISIS, right? I gave you a car crash for that. I just went on a plane with 2 knives, says Iker. I think your penis doesn't refer. Your penis doesn't refer? Fuck. I don't think your penis counts as a knife, Iker. Really struggled through that one. If Jabrizi had an illusionist trailer, I've told you, I've turned around on Jabrizi. I'm now a fan of his. I'm a huge fan of Jabrizi. I've turned around, even though people that might watch that podcast I did, where I cover his, whatever the fuck he was doing. I think it was his podcast appearance or something. I remember doing a video that got a little bit of traction. It got some people in the community asking to talk to me about it. And of course, it was subsequently cut up and used as a means of saying, hey, look, Piggy's racist. Piggy's racist. No, I'm stupidest. I'm retardist. And when I notice retardation, I feel like I have to call it out and say this is retarded. You could be the racist or the racist. That's getting pinned. Seeing that's topical here. It has to be parody. You'd like to think that, but I've seen people in public recording themselves for whatever content, and they do it like pretending to be an influencer, whatever the fuck. So I would believe that this is within the reality of being real. Let me see if I could find DJ Khaled. Somebody who mentioned what was it that he did here? He was playing the guitar, I think. Let's see if I could find that one. I've played that one before. I'm not going to put that one. But I guess the meat and potatoes of this, meat and potatoes, is not only a person that I talked about on a ham radio podcast episode where I was groped in a bar. My dick was grabbed underneath the table by a woman that I called meat and potatoes. And I remember I had a couple things in mind while she did that. I thought I could either get potentially some action from this atrocity of a human being that I'm referring to as meat and potatoes mentally, and probably get some sloppy knob, or I could do what I did, which is I didn't sell it. My penis was grabbed underneath the bar, and this was my reaction. I didn't flinch. I didn't move. I didn't sell it. Because if I sold it, it's going to give her a reaction to work with, and she's going to keep trying. And I didn't want her to keep trying. And then I stood up, and I said, I forgot what her name was or whatever the fuck she said. I said, hey, I got to go, but good luck. And then I left, and I called an Uber. It was a great time. But the meat and potatoes of this particular episode is DJ Khaled, which is a title. DJ Khaled is hysterical. He's probably autistic, I would say. He has some sort of disorder. If he's not doing it by accident, if he's not doing this thing on purpose, rather, like some sort of Andy Kaufman-like bit, I don't know. Here's a video of DJ Khaled pouring champagne in a cup underwater. He has pouring himself a glass underwater. I have to say, I feel like based on his interviews, I don't know. I'm on the fence. I think he's retarded. I don't think he's doing this on purpose. This is from a while ago. I just can't imagine. He doesn't do anything. He adds a what do you call this? A tag to a song. I haven't seen him mix. Well, I have seen him mix songs, and he's not good. You've seen him play Bob Marley's guitar, which I guess I might as well look up. DJ Khaled guitar. Let me look this puppy up here. DJ Khaled guitar. Of course, it's not gonna let me because I have to sign in. So too bad, so sad. Can't see it. This is him, I believe, eating crab. DJ Khaled eating crab.
Tell him to bring out the king crab. Tell him to bring out the king crab. Show him that king crab. Show him that king crab. Hold on. Get this. Get this. Now come over here from this way. Get it. Come a little closer.
What? You know.
Come on. Let's go.
He's a national icon, I gotta say.
Okay, come up. I gotta show it because I just got it. It's my new Rolex. I can't even.
When asked, he has a Rollie,
something special.
a nice little rubber bracelet.
I collect sneakers
He's got the teeth.
and watches, but take your time on it though. You know what I'm saying?
DJ Khaled is a national icon. Let's see here.
Nice shot. Safe.
DJ Khaled is he's a character from Grand Theft Auto. Now, the thing that I love and appreciate about DJ Khaled, which is to promote the cards, you should do the Gavin. I don't know what the Gavin is. I don't know who you're referring to. I don't know any Gavin, unless maybe I know you from somewhere else. Tuscan, maybe. Oh, the Gavin McInnes condom trick. Okay. So you're very specific as to who it is there. I've seen that trick, and I asked how it was done, and I was very surprised. That particular trick, I remember seeing years ago a magician doing a card trick where he has a card picked, and obviously a trick fails, and then he pulls a card from a condom from out his ass. I didn't know that ended up being Gavin McInnes, and I ended up asking, hey, man, how is it that this trick was done, or how is it that you forced a card? And he cheated. He had a bank of force cards. He didn't do a magic force. He just had a bunch of cards that were the same, which is kind of lame. I thought that he would have done at least a little bit sleight of hand. But that's funny. Maybe I should do that. You're right. Maybe I should actually bring that trick back and do the missing piece playing cards. But DJ Khaled is a national icon. He's a treasure. And I think that anybody that thinks that he should stop doing what he's doing is retarded. Because what he's providing us is endless, just a bounty of content to look and laugh at. I recall when he was here in Miami and he got lost. And there was a series of Snapchats where he got lost on one of the more expensive canals here. And fortunately, he made it, as you could see in the fact that he's still posting today. I actually thought that segment was going to last way longer than it did, but alas, Edge doesn't let me sign into TikTok. And I don't want to sign into TikTok anyways on Edge. My cousin went into the Boy Scouts football team as a tight end and came out a wide receiver. See, you see. It's the introduction of Nick Foley's theme. But Tuscan, I can't believe you remember that. That's a throwback. We had DJ Clue in the 90s, just fucking up the songs with his name. But he doesn't do anything. If you've ever seen him mix, he doesn't mix well. If you've seen him play music, he's illiterate when it comes to music. If you've seen him perform, he sucks. People boo him. So I don't know what his function is other than trying to just play himself off as this retard. DJ Khaled tried to beef with 50 Cent, and 50 Cent made a video called A Psychic Told Me. It's the most legal death threat I've ever seen. And then DJ Khaled never fucked with him again. Yeah, that's a classic. DJ Khaled, I don't know what he's getting off challenging people. I'm glad that he hasn't discovered influencer boxing yet. Because I think if anybody pays DJ Khaled enough, he's probably going to end up doing it. What's this? Hey, are you a magician?
You a magician?
Do you do magic tricks?
Magic tricks?
Stop what you're doing. Missing piece deck of playing cards is out on Kickstarter. Get yourself a missing piece deck of playing cards on Kickstarter. The what? The what? The what? Missing piece deck is out on Kickstarter. Slow down.
Slow down. Slow down.
Missing piece deck of playing cards. Missing piece deck of playing cards. The missing piece deck on Kickstarter. Missing piece deck of playing cards. I hate that it ends and I have to press the button there. Somebody mentioned here, what do I drive? Jason Heiss. I've made it well known that I don't drive a car. I drive a motorcycle. Rather, I ride a motorcycle. As a matter of fact, throughout the years, I had a little incident where I got hit by a bike, I got hit by a car with my old motorcycle. I think I put that on my Instagram forever ago. And you could see, I don't know if I have a picture on my Instagram. I might, of me riding my motorcycle for a commercial for my old podcast. So you could see that. And that's the bike that I currently ride. But I don't like that you thought that I guess a Mini. I'm offended that you think that I would drive a Mini. Although what I would ride is I would get one of those smart cars in a heartbeat. Daniel, again, my old partner in crime from Ham Radio, he mentioned that you could get those and then add like a Hayabusa engine. And those things just take off. So I want to get a smart car, like a convertible smart car. That'd be sick. And I'd put a fucking one of those crazy engines in there. That's what I would have spent my money on had this campaign been completely viral and gone out of control. That's what I would have spent money on. Let me go through here. Pepsi Addict says King Activities. Alk says Piggy stood up and he said, oh, I'm smaller now than when I was sitting. Yeah, you definitely deserve a car crash for that. And you even deserve one of these.
You know, we're living in a society.
You have to be accepting of people my height, okay? Let me go here. My goodness, what a fucking clusterfuck. Like the other topics I have, I guess this one could take up a little bit of time. I don't know if to cover a journalist getting hurt by seltzer water. I guess let's go with that one. This is The Atlantic. The Atlantic is probably the least credible publication ever. I don't know how they're still around. They're trash. They've made a couple articles defending pedos. And they just are the brim of the absolute worst. And I saw this article here called Seltzer is Torture. Soda hurts me. I'm not alone. And this is under health. So I always like to look up the guy. This is from April 13th, so it's pretty recent. Typically, I like to look up who the guy is and exactly the type of person that I would imagine gets hurt by seltzer water. As a staff writer at The Atlantic, can a boxer return to the ring after killing? Killer whales are not our friends. The people who use their parents' first name. Okay, these are articles that he's written. Something weird is going on with melatonin. Hotel booking is post-truth nightmare. Fucking Christ. So I guess this is the article that really caught my eye. I'm a huge fan of seltzer water. And of course, The Atlantic, if on top of them being absolutely the worst, they also have this, which is a fucking model where in order to read an article online, I have to pay for it. Right here. So let's just read the introduction to this because that's what we have access to because unfortunately, this is how journalism is in fucking 2023. You have to pay to read an article online. How about you don't put out the article online if you have to pay for it, idiot? I can't imagine they're turning out that much profit from this. But it says, I do not like carbonated beverages, plain and simple. I won't drink soda, and you'll never catch me with a beer. Gin and tonics are a no. Sparkling water, a beast in disguise. Oh, the cocktail is not that fizzy? I've heard that one before. And get your slushy out of my face. As I said, I do not like carbonated beverages. I do not like them at all. So if there's ever a sentence that pretty much says, I am a giant vagina, in the worst way, I don't mean that in any sort of sexist connotation, it's this. I don't just mean that they taste bad to me, the way soap or penicillin does. I mean they hurt me. They inflict actual physical pain on my mouth. The sensation is prickly. Yeah, that's normal. That's called seltzer water. That's called carbonation. The sensation is prickly. It's like having my tongue poked with hundreds of needles. Hundreds of beautiful, flavorful, refreshing needles. What are you talking about? On the handful of foolhardy occasions and highfalutin, you could just say on the handful of dumb occasions or stupid or even dare be edgy and use the word retarded occasions when I've dared to take a sip of Coke, it's felt like what I imagined sipping static electricity would feel like, at least until the pain subsides and I'm left with nothing but the hyper-saturated sweetness of a melted freezer pop. Even after I swallow, my mouth feels raw. Now, yesterday I talked about the state of man. And I brought up a tweet where a guy hit a deer and started crying. And this, I think, could be added to that. Just put that in that folder. When I try to explain the subversion, people struggle to wrap their mind around it. Even sparkling cider, they ask incredulously. Even cream soda, even sparkling cider. Yes, even cream soda. Yes, sparkling cider. Occasionally people try to relate. Oh, I hate carbonation too, even in champagne. Whatever these people mean by hate is not the thing I mean. And of course, I imagine that he's going to get into talking about how it pains him and hurts him. What have we come to? What have we come to? I believe this is an article that's probably designed to get clicks just via hate clicks. I think that that's what this is. And this is entirely normal. Now, The Atlantic has written way worse, as I've mentioned in my introductory statement about The Atlantic. But to be hurt by carbonated water, now I don't know if he explains that he has some sort of condition here, but it seems that when he describes it, he's describing exactly what it's like to drink a carbonated beverage. What's going on? Please explain to me what's going on with this. Is it the milk? Is it something in the water? Is it food? Is it nutrients? Is it a lack of nutrients? Is it a lack of sunlight? What is it that's come to make us like this? Meanwhile, we had 11-year-olds working in the coal mines back in the 20s. And we have this guy writing an article complaining because the bubbles in the Coke hurt. The bubbles. Oh, it's like sipping static electricity. Ooh, poor baby. Little baby has a hard time drinking seltzer. It hurts his little tongue. It hurts his little tongue. I had a soda stream. And if you're not familiar with the soda stream, you press it, right? You press it and you could add as much carbonation as you want. And I would press that motherfucker until I ran out of carbonation. So when I got it, it's the crispiest, most aggressive, hard, just it bite. And even then, it was delicious. It was refreshing. It was amazing. And you have a guy like this writing an entire article, an essay, an SAT essay, essentially, that I can't even read because of this, because of the fact that it's under a paywall. What? I get videos being under a paywall, but an article? Fuck off. So I don't know if you guys feel the same about Seltzer, but I read that and I found that quite pathetic. Let me take this off here. I guess the last official one is on this. I've talked about this particular channel before where they get a diverse cast of characters. They pick a topic and they usually give them some sort of social experiment. This is one based on money, where they have to decide on which one of the group gets money. Alex says, honestly, I did land on this channel because of the magic tricks and inappropriate language, but I certainly stayed because of the Pigcast. Gosh, these articles, says Alk. Thank you. I agree. I stumbled upon this channel myself, and I agree that Pigcast is what gives me life. Why do I keep catching my breath? I don't know if that's a good thing. I keep having to go. Maybe it's because I've talked too much. I think I've talked too much in the past week. But let's go to this video. Now, I'm sure in showing you this video, it's probably going to end up demonetizing the channel. So because of that, make sure to pick up the Missing Piece playing cards on Kickstarter. Make sure to check those bad boys out. But let's play this and see if we could make it transformative content. Or transformative. Fuck.
There's 7 of you here. You have to decide who leaves with $1,000.
So I'm black in America, so shit sucks. That's why this.
So if you couldn't hear that because the audio is absolutely abysmal, but I'm sure you could read it. They said that there's 7 of them. And are there 7? Yes, that's 4 and then 3. Okay. So here they have to decide who's going to get $1,000. Now this one is the one that seems to be the most outspoken of the group from what I've seen in this video. and it immediately turns into a clusterfuck. So let's play it.
There's 7 of you here. You have to decide who leaves with $1,000.
So I'm black in America, so shit sucks. That's why I deserve $1,000. I'm an immigrant, so am I. Wait. What if everyone...
So this got immediately, just me. This is my plight. This is my struggle, right? I think that there would be more intelligent ways to determine who would win. At the end of the day, it is a social experiment. I'm sure they got paid to show up on the video anyway, so anything extra is a bonus. But to embarrass yourself on the internet forever, I think is not worth $1,000. But that seems to be the case here.
I deserve $1,000. I'm an immigrant, so am I. Wait. What if everyone who's not black leaves as a form of reparation?
Now, the homeboy in the back doesn't seem to be smiling a lot here when it comes to their take, right? As a matter of fact, I do think that he makes a comment, and she ends up being the aggressor.
Then the rest of the 3 of us get to decide who takes $1,000.
What if we donate the money?
I know who needs to go because you said to charity, so. I think you gotta go. Like, I'm sorry.
You guys were talking about like having like guaranteed futures and careers and stuff, and I was just saying that like having a kid is like talk about a guaranteed thing in your future. Like that's a guaranteed future to me.
You had the child, you had sex to have the child, and now the child's here, so you have to pay for your child. You're responsible for it.
Can you give us a second? Can we pause?
I'm sorry, can we really pause? I really don't need you to antagonize me. Why don't you just be quiet? Okay, then keep going.
Nice. So I guess this guy provides a good reason other than I deserve money because of the way that I look, which seems to be the argument here. And homeboy says, oh, I have a kid, so kids cost money. That's what I need. Now, granted, this is a different cut, so I'm not sure what is the context that's missing here. Maybe it's a different angle that I'm missing out. It's definitely been chopped up to death. But am I the only one that I'm getting douche chills from this? Am I the only one that I just get my hair standing up and my arms just listening to the justification? So far we have me because I look this way, me because I look this way, me because I look this way. And this guy says, I have a kid. Kids are expensive, so I should get the $1,000. And then she says, you're antagonizing me. Me. Again, the me, which seems to be the running trend here.
I'm sorry.
You guys were talking about like having like guaranteed futures and careers and stuff, and I was just saying like having a kid is like talk about a guaranteed thing in your future. Like that's a guaranteed future to me.
You had the child, you had sex to have the child, and now the child's here, so you have to pay for your child. You're responsible for it.
Can you give us a second? Can we pause?
I'm sorry, can we really pause? I really don't need you to antagonize me. Why don't you just be quiet? Okay, then keep going back to that.
She's in charge, everybody.
Nice. This guy obviously is not having a good time here. I'd like to hear what the other people had to say, but in this cut, I believe they don't show it.
That's uncalled for, unnecessary. But
Really? Like I shouldn't have responded back to that?
I mean, nobody's over here talking to you. Right now, you're just wasting our time.
Who do you think deserves it out of those 3?
None of them.
Yeah, can I like just like recuse myself? No, this is a massacre.
Yeah, so that's the video. Douche chills all around. Me. Now, again, the guy is saying me as well, but his is a reason. His is something that's, hey, I have a kid. Theirs is shut up. Shut up. Shut up, dude. So I don't know. I feel like this is pretty, this isn't a subjective issue here. I think objectively, these people are assholes. The ones that decided to bring attention to themselves in this sort of way, as opposed to coming up with maybe, oh, we should just split it. Give it to me and I'll split it. I mean, among 7 people, that's still a nice amount of money to show up for today, in addition to what we're getting paid. Wouldn't that make sense? Right? I'd agree to that if I was part of the group. Instead, this one says, give it all to me because I deserve it. This guy says, yeah, that's right. Let's just pick out which one from the 3 of us because we look a certain way. This one's Asian, I believe. This one is just a rotund white chick, and then this is a pasty ginger, another rotund individual that really hasn't said anything antagonizing, and yet she, I think by virtue of him bringing up his life, is antagonizing her. And this guy, of course, defends her because, I guess, reasons. But, wow, that Asian is actually very pretty. My goodness. I just got distracted by the very attractive woman there. Of course, the comments are in reference to a better person than me. What's the song? That's funny. Basketball Americans. I'm skipping that one. Fuck. Let's see. That was very painful to watch. I can't take the basketball's voice. I didn't say that. I'm reading the comments here. How about everyone who's white? So it is a very, I would say, divisive issue, but it's still one that, I don't know. I watched this video, and there were immediately 9 things that I thought of that could have been done that would have accommodated for everyone, right? That could have made everybody leave happily. That didn't involve any sort of antagonizing, any sort of confrontation, any sort of issue, any sort of race-related necessity or anything. But let's see. This one says the greed is insane. She made me so physically mad. So, yeah, the comments here are also pretty aggressive. I tend to agree with the majority of these comments talking about the victim being the victim, mentioning things in regards to that not obviously me, bringing out certain cards, it being infuriating. I don't know. What does the PigCake community have to say? Here they said they turned off the comments on the original video on YouTube. I think we know why. My anger issues could never. I was fuming. No, I'm the victim. Why are they bringing up race immediately? That's what I was asking. Yeah, all that for $1,000. I don't think it's worth it to embarrass yourself for $1,000 online just because you're trying to be a victim for something. And it's obvious that you're there. You're well-dressed for the most part. You're in a position of privilege, right? Think about it that way. You compare yourself to other people and you think, oh, man, you know, there's someone right now in a fucking submarine that's running out of oxygen. There's another one in some remote part of Africa that's dying because the last ant they ate isn't nutritious enough for them to continue life. And you're here debating as to who in your group is going to get $1,000. I imagine that's probably in New York. I have to imagine, just based on the look of people here. They just look like a bunch of New Yorkers. Or maybe from probably Los Angeles. One of those. It's either or. New York or California. But I don't know. What does the PigCake community have to say about this particular bit? I found it particularly infuriating. And all my solutions involved spreading the wealth, giving it to people. Everyone there. Dividing 1,000. You do the math. My math is too retarded to do that. What a diverse group. I saw a Logitech gaming ad, and this looks like the cast they used to represent gamers. That's really fucking funny. Have you ever seen a naked Japanese woman? Their genitals are actually censored. That's getting the pin. You're getting the pin of glory for that one. That was a good one, Iker. You're replacing your own pin. Let's go through the rest of these. Irish people were slaves too. Jews were slaves to Nazis. That's, if you go back at any point, you could find some nefarious actions on behalf of any and every single group. Humans tend to be flawed by existence. So for you to attribute things to one group in particular, it's ignorant of historical fact. So that tends to be the case. And unfortunately, I don't think modern college helps that. I don't think modern college helps spread certain knowledge of that. But I digress. Pig, Google, when is we? I'm not going to do that, Pepsi, again. But I have before, and I did chuckle. That's all I'm going to say. Slavery still happens. That's true. Slavery is still an issue in some parts of the world. It's kind of nuts to me that you still see these Aboriginal Indigenous tribes in 2023. That also is something that blows my mind. You would imagine in 2023 that wouldn't be something that still exists, but it does. There's still remote tribes that don't even know about anything. So, of course, slavery is still very much prevalent. Am I watching that or am I hallucinating? Wow, this video. Iker, I'm not going to read your comments, but it's there if someone wants to read it. Magic Buzz says, PigCake Court, who's in trial tonight? Are you saying that because of the outfit? I decided to put on a Henley, my AOC jacket. I have another jacket that I ordered coming in on Friday. So I might do a stream on Friday just to see if that jacket actually works. All these I didn't realize these websites where women sell clothes, very inexpensive to buy. Vintage stuff, as I've done. All these people need to be on your presidential shoot list, says Kim Z. I agree. If I was president, I would have these people arrested. Straight to jail. Straight to jail. Believe it or not, overcooking chicken, straight to jail. I don't know if I did the bit justice, but you're right, Kim Z. Immediately, it would be some sort of capital offense to make it all about themselves. I imagine, again, the ginger guy did bring up that he would like the money because he just had a kid. Right? So I don't know if those were the producers asking him, saying, hey, why would you need the money? But the fact that before the producer even got out the sentence of, so we have 7 people here, you guys are going to determine who gets $1,000. Someone goes, me, because I look this way. And the other one said, Jesus, that doesn't sound good. The other person said, yeah, me too. We should eliminate everybody else because we're the only ones that deserve it here. I have a lot of argument against that. Found the video PewDiePie. The most annoying video. I don't know what you're referring to there, Hane. She's right, though. Gingers don't deserve anything. Manel says, I'm here for the penises. Manel, I was going to ask you if you could make a Pigcast thing for me. I hate to be like, hey, can you do this for me? Because you are artistically gifted. But I want to get like a Pigcast, like an official little Pigcast logo made. The full video is in PewDiePie's The Most Annoying People on the Internet. Well, I guess that's enough for the video that I wanted to watch. I really can't tolerate any more of that. And I'm glad that whoever chopped that up on TikTok did such a good job. The video has 606,000 likes, which means that it has way more than of that in views. So judging by the majority of comments, it seems like a lot of people tend to agree with our mentality here as a PigCake community. The fact that the studio let this go and even aired it, they had to turn off the comments because of how bad it was. Yeah, always playing victim. Oh, my goodness. I want to see if there's anybody that defends it. Immediately use the race card. Again, no reason to enact that card, to use it. Somebody mentions this people vote. This guy says, I'm black in America. I don't know what that means there. But yeah, so a lot of people tend to be on the side of, wow, I have douche chills. Imagine being like that. Well, if you're seeing everything through a lens. Started the stream, 53:22. Ended the stream, 53:22. We could do it, guys. You and us together for the missing piece deck of playing cards on Kickstarter. Let this video be a reminder to check it out if you're seeing this later in the future. But know that we started the stream at 53:22 and we ended the stream at 53:22. Not saying that's a bad thing. However, what I'm saying is that you should consider picking up a potential deck of PigCake playing cards. I'm severely melanin deficient, says Daft Squiddy. Are you from England? Any part of England? I've noticed that when they come here and they notice that we have nice olive melanated skin, that they wonder how is that possible. Half the world is Portuguese, the other half is Spanish. Unfortunately, I think half of your world now. Uncontacted tribes still kill dumbasses that venture into the Amazon trying to help them. Yeah, shit's insane. That's the other part that's kind of hysterical. The idea of people trying to come in. Oh, we have Magic Orthodoxy shilling my deck. Thank you, Magic Orthodoxy. I appreciate that, and I'll hug you. I think he was in Florida not so long ago, but unfortunately I was caught up and couldn't meet up with him where he was. But I think that would have been an interesting meeting. Same thing with Dan Sperry. I was supposed to meet up with Dan Sperry. I think he and I would ironically agree on a lot of things. So I feel like he'd immediately become a good friend. But he was in Orlando and I'm in Miami, Florida. So I really should calm down now that my fucking name is out there on a Kickstarter with providing information in regards to me, even though everything's already out there. I'm just regularly deficient. Yeah. That's what it sounds like, SB. And Daft Squiddy says, I'm a Midwest Wonder Bread boy. So either England or Midwest, and you immediately have no idea how to tan, or you tan and you're red. Hungry and Hungover says, I'm Canadian, and I have to say I'm sorry. I apologize as to your disorder. But I saw that, and I got the douche chills when she just, the pitch of her tone raises, and oh, could we pause this? Could we pause this? This thing, if you ever do this to me, we're throwing down. We're throwing down. I'm sorry. I don't care how tall you are. I don't care how you look. I don't care your what's between your legs. We're throwing down. Let's see if she does that. This thing. Let's go back real quick.
Can you give us a second? Can we pause? I'm sorry. Can we really pause? I really don't need you to antagonize me. Why don't you just be quiet?
And she's doing that thing where she's looking at you, but she's not looking at you. Just because she doesn't have any conviction or balls, and she knows that he's not going to do anything. But fuck you. God, what an entitled little cunt. Brian Ballard, do you get to see the names of the people that have pledged, or only after the goal is reached? I get to see everyone. I get a lot of information now, so believe it or not, I do see everything. So I see names, addresses, pretty much all of that, because obviously you're ordering what is going to be a physical product, so addresses and names are definitely something that I'm getting. This is the end portion of the stream, by the way. This is the part where comments aplenty, right? Where we're looking through the comments. I'm avoiding notifications because of Magic Orthodoxy out here dropping some heat, although I'll check that out after the stream. So this is the end portion of the stream where I'm looking through the comments and see what people have to say. Norm Bathwater, how many Patreon members do you have? If everybody there buys a deck, you should be good to go. That is true, statistically. However, I'm not requiring you to buy a deck if you are a Patreon member. I'm eternally grateful for both. But it would be true that if they did that. I saw Dan Sperry's appearance on AGT when I was 11 or 12, and it made me want to become edgy. Yes, but Dan Sperry is one of those people that's kind of odd that he reached out. He said, hey, man, I'm here. Let's fucking hang out. But because he tends to be a northern boy, Florida is a little bit of an odd thing for people to understand, especially when you come to Miami and they say, oh, Orlando and Disney and Mickey is just a short car ride away. It's about 4.5 hours to go to Orlando, which is an ordeal, especially considering our traffic and our retarded drivers, especially those that decide to run over motorcyclists under GMC Acadia. Bitch. But unfortunately, I couldn't meet up. But if he's ever down here in Miami, I think we would probably have a great time together. I'm Mexican. Ask me about tacos. Iker, I think I've already discussed with several Mexicans here on the channel as to your inadequacy when it comes to your food. People tend to think, oh, tacos and burritos and everything's great. No. I think it's terrible. I've defended the cheeseburger to no end. And the cheeseburger, I still would argue to anybody to the death that it's the perfect food. Houdini might be your double ganger. Yeah, you're saying that about the hair. I don't even know how to. Let's see this right here. Let's see how that looks. I look like I look like I'm a lesbian. Let's be honest. Oh boy. I showered and I slicked it back. That's what I did. And this is the byproduct of a little bit of a mess with the hair. So I look like I eat carpet, which I do, but I look like I eat carpet as a Rachel Maddow, which I don't disagree with. I understand it. It's beautiful. She's a racist to white people. You could be racist to any race, and she's a racist, says Hane. Right? What? Does that mean you have my personal info? I won't dox anymore, Piggy, promise. Yeah, I mean, I have to imagine, that you know that I get your information from that. And it's because it'd be kind of dumb if you purchased the Kickstarter and you've subscribed to that, and then you wonder how it is that I know where to send a deck to. Let's go through here. Too much sun turns me into a Korean lobster. My dad was born in London, though, so get out of my head before you catch the bipolar. I was doing my best, Peter Turner. There, I was doing my best. Think of your star sign, Aries. Fucker. I remember the first time I met I met him within, I think, 5 minutes of meeting him. He already did the whole Isabella Star and just murdered me because I never thought it would be that perfect performed. Grass-fed Gary says racism is funny. God, fuck. What else here? Brian Ballard says, so what in the surprise for the person who pledges 10,000? Well, if you pledge the maximum, which is 10 grand, I will personally hand deliver everything that becomes part of the campaign. So whether we make it to certain other things, maybe foil decks per se, if we happen to reach certain stretch goals, the missing piece deck, you're going to get everything hand delivered by me and potentially Daniel, depending on the price of airfare. But that's what you get if you pledge that. A personal delivery from me, regardless of your location. So Darren Brown inspired me to learn psychology and mentalism, but not sleight of hand mentalism, the real stuff that uses psychology. You're going to find that mentalism uses no psychology. You're going to find that if you decide to study psychology in school for the purpose of aiding your magic career, you're going to find that there's no crossover or very minimal crossover. The best thing you could help with to learn mentalism is to learn mentalism. There's only very few things that use actual psychology because psychology is just, I mean, really psychology class is memorizing a bunch of terms, psychologists and studies. That's what psychology class is. So maybe in the context, they teach certain things, you could then pull out. I know that there's a trick that I don't think I put it anywhere out, but there's a famous thing called the gorilla blindness test where you are shown a video and you have to count how many times the people in a red jersey catch a ball. And there's a gorilla that comes in, dances, and then leaves, and you never notice him because of perceptual blindness. I have a similar trick where you deal through the cards and you end up having them call stop. And what they don't realize is that as you're dealing through the cards, the backs of the cards read out what the card is. So as you're going through the cards, you're having them call stop. And then let's say they call stop on the 9 of clubs. What they don't realize is that the face-up cards that you've been turning over, it reads the 9 of clubs. So that's a trick. I haven't put it out, but I think it's a very interesting and novel concept based on that. So based on psychology. So you could get examples, but you're not really getting much else. My friend and I joked that we would just take the personal delivery and close the door. That would be the most appropriate thing. That'd be actually expected, to be honest. What if someone from Somalia pledges $10,000? Then guess what? Your boy's taking a trip to fucking Somalia, bro. I'm going to be out here. I'm going to be catching Coney myself. You think Coney's going to be safe from me? No, I'm going to be getting some fucking... I'm gonna add that to the tier. I'm going to say, hey, also as a bonus, you get the head of Coney. Using scientific and psychological principles along with physics instead of lying, you're basically doing that cop-out with sleight of hand. Okay, so you mean replicate the sleight of hand with real-life stuff, I guess. It's a lot easier to do the sleight of hand stuff. Let's go through here. Mexican food is good if you like hour-long shits. A deadly sin says you look happy. Do I? I feel a little bit stressed for various reasons, but if I look happy, then I look happy. I'm glad about that. One thing I did today, though, I did farmer's carries around the house, so I feel like I look extra full and burly, because those really take it out of you. I opened up all the fences, and then I have 235-pound kettlebells, and I just walk around the house and do that for multiple times. Obviously, you're going to need to take certain breaks, but oh boy, you feel it everywhere. You feel it in your fucking your chest, so I highly suggest that. I don't know why I mentioned that, apart from me having the need to tell you that. System 88 came from the Cube, and it's a fantastic reading system. You were talking about like cold reading stuff, I guess, right? Those are fun. I missed those. It's been a while. Will the delivery be on time or take 15 years, like a Danny Matty deck? Well, the moment that the campaign ends and we reach whatever funding goal we reach, whether that's the initial deck, the stretch goal, the other invisible stretch goals that we haven't mentioned yet, whatever happens, the moment that happens, I'm going to take that and use that to manufacture the deck immediately. So however long they take is however long it's going to take for them to print, however long it's going to take for me to get the legitimate prototypes and sign off on everything. But I'm going to be updating everybody on Kickstarter. I'm going to make it my full-time job, essentially, to do that. Because technically it is my full-time job. But as far as whatever that entails is going to be whatever that entails. So do keep that in mind. Says Tuscan. But it will be on time. It will be on time. I think if you did that, I'd prioritize getting the cards to you. If I could somehow pledge 10 G's, I will. But my wife will likely stab me multiple times, so you have to deliver to a hospital. Plus, you have to avoid getting stabbed by my wife. That would be a fun bit. It'd be like the dangerous game, the most dangerous game. I'd be there avoiding. Just, oh, let me avoid this. Let me avoid that stab. Let me avoid this stab. So I'd be avoiding just stabs as I'm delivering playing cards to you. I would also stab you if I were your wife, based on spending that much. I only put that there if you happen to be like a Saudi prince, or maybe you made some really good crypto, like some crypto investments, and you decide, hey, fuck it. I'm going to drop 10 G's to have this short retard give me some playing cards. The cube was discovered by psychology. Yeah, but System 88. I believe that's one. Is that from Doc Hilford? Is that what you're referring to? System 88? I don't know which one you're referring to. I know that there is a mentalist that put something out there. You know what I was thinking of selling? Believe it or not, now that we're getting into the thing of selling, I don't know if you guys would... I guess I should ask you. You'll be my impromptu subjects. I've been working on lecture notes for a couple years now. Just lecture notes for a lecture that doesn't exist. And one thing that Patreon is doing now is that they're allowing sales on their website. Now, I do have another platform that I could use that I have used before, Gumroad, to sell like PDFs and stuff. Now, obviously, it's going to get pirated. Immediately, it's going to get pirated, which I live with the understanding of that. But would people be interested in buying lecture notes for a lecture that doesn't exist? I mean, it's pretty detailed. I have a whole thing, a whole lecture, essentially. I'm still working on it. I work on it every fucking couple months. But I don't know if that's something that people would be interested in. But it's essentially just a bunch of tricks that I like. It's also some philosophies. There's a whole thing on lying, which I think is interesting. Not a lot of people lie. But I think I might do that later on in the summer if I do decide to release that. But I thought it's interesting because it's a lecture for a lecture that doesn't exist, because I've never lectured, which I should as a former fucking teacher. I think that'd be a fun thing to do. It's ultimately my goal is to be able to lecture and really do that well. But when it comes to that, it'd be a lecture notes for a lecture that doesn't exist. So that's kind of novel. Let's go through here. See if I skipped anyone. We're talking about FBI psychology. Thank you, Hane. My goodness. I feel like you own several swords, Hane. I feel like that would be a good guess. But those are most of the comments that I've seen. Apart from that, I think we've come to the end of the stream, my friends. We've come to the end where I usually like to give advice based on the topics of discussion, right? We're all human, right? We're all human. We're all part of this existence, this experience. We live in a society.
You know, we're living in a society.
And oftentimes we like to look at individual characteristics and assume that other people aren't going through hardships and difficulty because they look a certain way, which is not remotely close to reality. Everybody has struggles. Even, believe it or not, people that are billionaires have struggles that we'll never imagine. Poor people have struggles. People that are well off, people that are black, white, red. We all have struggles, right? So, best advice that I have is to help yourself and use that to help the people around you, whether that's your friends, your family, but make sure that you're the first one there. You're kind, you're giving, and then you're able to help others. Because if not, you end up like that cunt in that video. So I guess that's my bit of advice. Apart from that, what else can I get into here? I guess that's advice. I always like to mention fucking Nancy Pelosi doing insider trading. But that's really like the tip of the iceberg. The amount of just insider knowledge going on is upsetting, considering how much I owe the IRS for taxes this year, which I still haven't paid, but I'm going to. It's upsetting. So I need to have a send-off. I need to have a fucking send-off, right? Like a thing that I say. Like, be brave, get in trouble. Tuscan, I'm sure you'll recognize that. No send-off. I have to come up with one.